Welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as Jane.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 238.
Yes, it is.
The numbers are not flying by as quickly as they once did.
Right.
But we're here.
Yeah.
How's things?
Busy. We made it through soccer season and had a wonderful occasion to go to Flapdoodle at the end of it all. And yeah, so that was a load off, right? Getting through soccer season. Then Lucy promptly decided she wanted to start climbing. So now She's a
climber.
Yeah. We did 3 days in a row.
Whoa.
So we did Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday was the class. And after an hour into the 2-hour class, she said, "I'm too tired. I need to go home." I'm like, I warned you when we were here yesterday that we should go home. And she wanted to keep going. So I was like, well, we'll find out where her threshold is. And so it was also particularly warm on that Tuesday. So they were all kind of sweaty.
It's been warm here. Yeah. Unseasonably warm. Like, I think Quentin's birthday was yesterday. Flag Day. He's a Flag Day baby. And I think it may have been one of the warmest he's ever had. It's not normally this warm in June here.
Yeah. So we have a climber. Justin went too on that night, and he worked himself into a crazy red state and did not feel good at the rest of the night. But that happens when you're not used to stuff and you're just like going crazy, you're excited, and then overdid it. So he didn't eat supper. He was feeling so bad. And then we got kids going into junior high. I mean, that was like, oh my gosh.
Yep. Did you have a 5th grade recognition?
Yeah, it's not a graduation, but they walk across the stage and get handed a thing.
Yeah. Ellie was asking me if I was going to get her a 5th grade graduation present, and I was like, I don't think it's a graduation, and B, I don't believe that I received any sort of recognition when I got to go to middle school other than a nice pat on the back.
Yeah.
Great job. You didn't even get the pat on the back? Those are free, man.
I don't remember. I know that in 8th grade there was some sort of like I dressed up for it, whatever.
Got it, yeah.
But going into high school. But no, not elementary to middle school. Although elementary to middle school feels like a bigger deal.
It is.
Right?
I think it is. I mean,
you're not staying in the same classroom all day, right? I mean, our kids have some things that they change around for, right? But it's very guided, where it's, instead of like bell and you're off to somewhere else,
And you're responsible for getting yourself to that somewhere else. It's not like a teacher marshaling you down to an art room or
And I know your daughter signed up for an orientation, but my son didn't. And so I'm like, oh, well, gosh, now I'm worried. I might need to get him a map and a lock, just a random. I know that my husband has one, so like we'll get the lock and he'll have the combination. He can practice that particular combination.
Yep.
So he knows how to make a
right,
lock.
left, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then what else? I don't know. It just felt like, oh my gosh, what's he's not worried about it, so I guess I didn't worry about it. Yep. And now I'm like, oh wait, other kids are doing this. It's really early. I mean, they
could forget it by the time that school actually rolls around. But
But so I don't know. And he's going to pick up a musical instrument, and so I got to arrange that and get that picked out and picked up, and maybe give him a couple lessons before he gets to school. Although I was told that day 1 at school is learning how to disassemble and reassemble your instrument. So they're starting at the basics when they get to there. I don't know how much a couple lessons during the summer is going to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't. It never hit me how busy our summers are until this year, I guess. Right. Like, I know that they've been busy, but like it just seems like, wow, we're busier than the school year. Like, how is that possible? But yeah, like because the school is just across the street, like I've got an extra 30 to 40 minutes of like drop off in the morning to take Ellie to the middle school prep class and to take the boys to the school age childcare. And yeah, it's just been all of a sudden it's summer and the kids are out of school and like we're just running around like crazy people trying to keep up with them. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, you said that your daughter was interested in climbing. Ellie has been going out running with me, and like she's going to be a distance runner. Like she can do today we did 4 miles without stopping, and I was like, if you had told me when I was 10 going on 11 to go out and run 4 or 5 miles, I would have been like,
yeah, I know.
You might as well told me 100, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and she's just like, let's do this, Mom. Like a couple days in a row, and
Sometimes I think that Justin he's thin and wiry, you know, and full of energy. So sometimes I think that he could do stuff like that. But then, he doesn't know when to back off, right?
Yeah, so no, she completely said that, right? She's like, if I were doing this, I would go really fast for that first mile, right? And then, but with you, I'm going slow. And she's like, I'm not saying you're slow, but like, I'm not like, hauling it, right? And I'm just kind of running your pace, and that makes me able to do it for longer. And I was like, that's distance running. You kind of have to pace yourself. So that's been fun. It's been, sometimes I try to talk to her. Sometimes I get like, yes, answers, but because I'm adept at being able to run at a pace at which I can still talk. But I was telling you, I feel like my life is just expanding to fill the container. So like when something lets up, something else kind of just sweeps in and fills in the place. So we've had Susan's coming for ZK on Sunday, so we had Father's Day observed this past Sunday. And I don't know if Jeremy's around, and I'll have to post it on Instagram, but I got him a pretty cool Father's Day present. I think it might be his prized possession. Because he and Dexter have been joking about, like, Dexter's like, I want to get Dad a trophy that says World's Stinkiest Dad. For Father's Day, and they just kind of joke, and Jeremy's like, no, you're stinky, Dexter, whatever. So Dexter's been giving me a hard time, like, did you order that? I was like, I have a trophy that says World's Stinkiest Dad. Well, lo and behold, you can go out to Amazon and there is a trophy, and I think you're supposed to use it for like the loser of your fantasy football league, but it looks like a toilet, and they can 2-day ship it to me, and then included in the price, it's $15. You can get a little placard made up. And I said, World's Stinkiest Dad, Jeremy Williams. We're gonna have a little placard on the trophy.
Well, thank you, fantasy football.
Yeah, or Amazon, or
well, I have a feeling you're right. It exists for that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where you're allowed to give people a hard time and they won't take it badly, right?
Yeah. So here's hoping that he really appreciates it.
That is funny.
Yes. And then, Quentin's birthday yesterday. We're having a birthday party tomorrow. We got ZK going on. We got the book pre-orders are up, which was super fun. A super fun Amber of the Yarn Hoarder podcast went in, and it made me cry. Took a picture, or took video of all of the proof being created, and other than the binding, that's what the book is going to be. And it was very just like surreal watching it being made, and all the people that went into the making of it, right? Like, she was like, is it okay if we cross, promote and whatever? I was like, go for it. I hope all of these people that you took videos of felt like super special that they were part of this project that was kind of a dream coming true, right? Like, it was pretty fantastic to be able to see like how they laminate the covers, and how the pages come off of the press, and the paper, and the cutting, and the binding. And so we tried to speed it up a little bit. The original one that she sent was quite long. But if you go out and look at there's a 5-minute version, I believe. It's super fun. The geek in me kind of appreciated being able to see all of the machinery that goes into it.
It's like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yes. How did they make it? Yes. What else is going on?
We went into the picture frame.
Yeah. else is going on? I don't know.
I mean, those are some pretty big things. I mean,
They are.
book and retreat. I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
retreat fills up my life quite a bit.
Yeah. No, I do. I feel like, you know how we normally say that we're planning a yarning wedding. I feel like I'm now having a baby and planning a wedding for the same day,
Yes.
right? Like scheduled C-section during the wedding. Kind of bonkers. But yeah, the book stuff, you know, once we got it shipped off to the printers in Illinois there, it's been, you know, kind of taken a little bit of a backseat, but then yeah, the ZK stuff just came right in and filled in there. So
said, I need your attention.
yes. And that's, you know, I signed up for that. So it's not that big a deal, but it's just like one of these days I'm going to stop and catch my breath. One of them.
Yeah, I signed up to volunteer at 2 different CrossFit events this summer, and I don't have my assignments yet, but I keep thinking, like, why did I sign up for this? You know, my husband's giving me a hard time because I'm taking off vacation to go work for something else, right?
Yeah,
and so, like, the retreat is kind of, it's the
same deal. You're taking time off of work to go work.
It is
hard. Yeah,
no, but in a similar vein, but it's established. It's in place.
Okay.
It is always. It's perennial.
Yeah.
Like it has to happen. In his mind, this other stuff is extra. And why would you do that? But I've just been having fun getting to know the people, and I've just been like, you know, I want to take it to the next level. I want to hang out with these people for the weekend. And what was I going to say? Oh, I don't know. We got a new class at our gym at work, so I'm going to take that tomorrow.
Cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
We're Olympic lifting.
Ooh.
Something.
Does sound fancy. All right, we do have some administrati because we have not been recording as often. Yes. It comes around pretty quickly. So we had the wonderful JD Craft Shop that gave us both some sock blockers to review, and then you get a custom pair of your own size choosing that would be sent to you. And so that was 2 through 97. I have to say, we didn't choose like our favorite picture, but the photo op that I liked the best was somebody had done like striped socks that looked kind of like the Wicked Witch of the West, and they had the photo op they had taken was it looked like their feet was sticking out from underneath a house.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, I was like, that's a good one. Good one. All right, so JD Craft Shop sock blockers 2 through 97, and the winner was 19, and that was Hey 4 Horses. Okay. So Hey 4 Horses, if you contact me with your full name and address, I can pass that on, and if you want to just give me the size of sock blockers, or I can send you the link out so that you can make the decision. I can pass that along to the generous faces over at JD Craft Shop, and they can get those shipped out to you, made up and shipped out to you. The next one we had was an ebook from Quince & Co., the framework book that we reviewed. I have an FO from said book, and
what?
really, yes,
wow,
and really, I love it. I love it. It's the cover shot. Oh, I know the lingo now.
Okay, that's right. You're well versed in books.
I'm an author / publisher. But that was 2 through 59, and the winner on that one was number 33, and that is Spin Knit Love Ingrid, and she thought she would like to knit the Aris, Arris, and I was trying to remember which beautiful top that was. There's the Annex, there's the Aris. It's the one that's got the fun V that has the lace going down the center. And so if you want to contact me on that, Ingrid, again, that's Spin Knit Love, LUV, I can let the Quince & Co. folks know. Let me know your email address, because I think that's probably how they'll send it out to you, is an email address or preferred email address to get an ebook sent to you. And then last but certainly not least, I went to kind of toss my self-striping that I could part with pile, and after the excuse me cowl, I think I have gone through mine. So I recently went through, I got some really big totes, so now all of my totes are really big totes. Like I don't have like the sort of big ones on the bottom and then a little one on top. Like they're all the really big totes, and it looks kind of tidy and nice. I like it that they're all uniform size, and it all fits in, and I cannot order anymore until I knit it up. And my husband laughed and laughed and laughed when I said that. Like, it all fits in, nothing's bursting out or can't be closed up, no more until I finish it up. And he was like, ha 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 ha. But
you meant until you finish some up, not
until
all
ZK,
of it. Oh, okay.
Basically, is what I meant. Because when I'm in there in real life, it's going to be really hard not to. Because yeah.
I feel you on that one. I got a wish list a mile long.
Yep. So the fun twist on the May self-striping that I'm going to give is that the winner, if you contact me and kind of seed I'm trying to think of like the random number generator you would seed it, but kind of let me know your preferences as far as colors. I'm going to pick something out, a self-striping out for you from the ZK market and or my stash if I don't find something that fits the bill at ZK. But I think ZK ultimately, because then that will be something that will alleviate that need to spend but won't try to fit into the bin.
Gotcha.
Two birds, one stone.
Yeah. All right. So, AKA, if you need somebody to personal shop for you, Megan's signing up because she really wants to shop without
for my
her
self-stripers. Self-stripers. I mean, it's still my money I'm spending, but
it's true.
Self-stripers, man. So that was 2 through 670 in May. And again, it's June 15th, but it's May self-striping. And the two winners, so the first person to contact me and say, I love blue self-striping, that's who I'll be shopping for. The two winners were number 86 and number 618, which is kind of fun. Both of them contain 6s and 8s. 86 is MISIM. Fun rap name to say. And 618 is Debbie J. Jackson, who I believe may be coming to ZK.
Yes. An excited somebody who's coming to ZK.
Yeah. Yeah. So perhaps we could shop together if she's the first one, but she may be packing.
Yeah, she might not see this in time.
Who will contact me first? So the first person to contact me and say what their preference is, or you could just want me to not shop for you, and you could want one of my patterns, sock patterns, or any of my patterns in my Ravelry shop that are available for individual download. I can now say that because I have patterns in a book that are not individual downloads currently. So I know it's still kind of smashing into me at times.
Yeah. Yeah. The moment you get the physical book will be the bound.
Yeah. I've been getting like BTS, which is lingo for behind the scenes. BTS photos on the printing, and I think it will be when I see the mass. I mean, like, you and I are doing things by the 200s because that's how many people are coming to ZK, and it doesn't really hit me until I'm looking at like a stack of badges that is like this thick, that's just a ton of people.
Yes.
And when I see boxes and boxes of books, it will be like beautiful and then like terrifying.
Now I gotta sell all these. Exactly. I don't want these collecting dust in my basement.
Exactly. They need to go out to Yarny homes where people will knit them and love them and look at the photography by Gail and go, oh, it's so beautiful. And these beautiful women that posed in the pictures. And yes. Anyway, sorry. I might just cycle through. You might just see me go back to the book over and over again. It's still kind of new. It's like that baby that you hold and
take a lot of photos of.
it beautiful?
Yeah. The flood of Instagram photos of your baby.
Yeah, except it hasn't happened, right? I
That's
just said
true.
my analogy that the C-section is
Yeah.
at ZK. So, Yarny wedding, baby being born, book baby being born, and some administrati.
But she's got an odd threesome going because the
baby mama is not the person I'm marrying.
No, it's not.
Although, yeah.
So I will awkwardly say hi to Corey at the retreat.
You impregnated my baby. Yeah.
We've had how many Yarny weddings? And you went and had a baby with somebody else?
That's where we gotta draw the line on these analogies. We're done on that analogy. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any further things to mention? After ZK, we will probably be willing to entertain another KAL.
Mm-hmm.
So looking for any sort of inspiration. I know we'll be having a Minnesota 52 KAL once the book is out there and available for mass consumption. It's just pre-order currently. So we could probably try to find something in there. There's summer knits in the book, or socks, or different perspectives on things. I don't know.
I have two different yarns that would work for the infinity scarf, so I need to actually get that on the needles.
Yes, I've got one on the needles and I forgot to grab it. That would have been a really interesting work in progress to be able to show, because the pattern pages are out there and it's not like super secretive anymore.
Right.
I might jump up and talk. You talk and I'll jump up and
okay.
come back down.
All right. So
objects.
Finished objects. Yes. Thanks for the prompt. I had knit my Boko towel, and so it's done. And this is what it's like. I did have a little bit left over, so something I can put in my sock yarn blanket, and then leftovers. Did you want to play with it? It's the steel stuff. I'm not going to use it for anything else.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I can break it. I did break it a couple times. I mean, not while I was knitting. I mean, when I was trying to break the yarn for it, it broke. But yeah, it's got those nice structured points to it, and it's very architectural.
Because it's been reinforced with that.
And maybe Megan can get inspired and come up with something new and awesome to make with that yarn.
Yeah.
It is really interesting to knit with. And you just carry it along with the regular yarn. It wasn't a pain in the butt or anything. Sometimes I find like mohair or whatever is a pain in the butt. I think what I would do differently on this stuff is I would wind it into a ball. I don't think that I would cake it. I think that I would take the time to wind it into one cohesive ball, so that it was only pulling from the outside.
Yeah, it looks
and you
a
didn't
little
have
nesty right now.
Yes. So the inside,
like to pull out the big barf, or
no, they like to marry each other. So like the working yarn would find the end, and it would try to come and be double knitted into the project. And it would also do little barfs like that, but not too bad. I kept it in my bag for the most part, so it didn't do that. But yep, so I really liked the cowl.
do you feel like you can feel it against your skin at all?
No.
So the softness kind of offsets the
Yeah, no, I find this perfectly cushy, you know. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's, you know, because you can feel that there's something carried through it if you squish it, you know, like you really press.
Yep.
But no, just having it be a fluff around your neck, I can't really feel it. And I like that it has that structure to it. Like it has some stand-up-ness to it. It's not just flopping. So,
very cool.
That is my only finished object. I can count my hoe though, so I will. I finished my June. Somebody's not in Kansas anymore. for the Desert Vista Dye Works. And I think I have decided that 6 might be it. I mean, if we get through the retreat and I've finished month 6, I think I might be done. Even though I have yarn to keep going, I find I really like it, but at the same time, I feel like there's other projects that I really want to work on, and having the deadline makes me feel obligated to work on the socks so month 7 might get cast on July 1st, but I don't know if I'm gonna follow
Sometimes
through.
just telling yourself you don't have to follow through is
That's true.
all that it takes to make it interesting
But
again.
I do need to follow through with this month because it's the next prize jump, right? So I really must. I must. So that, and I have a good chunk of the next one started, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Cool. Yeah, I've been enjoying that I wasn't knitting samples, and that I didn't have to hide everything that I'm doing. That said, a lot of similar things got put on the needle, so still a lot of socks, because I feel like the socks are what can get done. Mm-hmm. This is my asymmetrical, sassy expanding community with the spine kind of off center, and then I mirrored them, which I find that I like mirroring, mm-hmm. which is a lot more obvious when you have it asymmetrical, because if you mirror something that's already symmetrical, it just looks like you've made a matching pair. But this is,
which would be true.
I know, but yeah. It's like double mirrors, whereas this is like a reflection in the pond. Okay. So this is the Thunder Boom colorway from Diabolical in her Corey Dale base, which I believe is Sturdy version 2.0. When I was out there linking it, really like those. I also had another Crafty Girl mini skeins in her Sesame Street, which she doesn't call Sesame Street. What does she call them?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's not. It's fun and playful.
Yes.
But as are most of her things, and I just kind of decided to mix in and make. Although the white is a bit thicker, so you can feel it on here. It's almost like a sport weight, but I got it from our LYS. It's just like a generic white that's primarily nylon and a little bit of merino. Like it's a sturdy base, and I wanted it to be really, I was finding with this variegated yarn that if I only did 2 stripes of the variegated and then 2 stripes of the white and then 2 stripes of the variegated, it was looking almost like each stripe was unique. Mm-hmm. Rather than you seeing the variegation. So I went with a 4-2, so 4 of the variegated, 2 of the white on these, and then every time that I ran out, I just started a new mini skein. So there was a lot of ends to weave in, but it was fun, and I felt like they flew because it was like, oh, I want to get to the next little mini skein. And the way that she had these packaged up, I think I have 3 colors still left. And basically, I just took each mini skein and wound up half of it by weight on the scale. So some of them, I can't remember if it's the first one or the second one that always ends up being a little bit more. Because the scale doesn't know, like, the granularity. Anyway.
There's always yarn in the air.
And, it could end up being like 6 grams, but it's really closer to 7. So then when you wind off the 3, that one's really small, but then there's actually close to 4 still on the scale. So you can't get it exactly halved at the granularity of grams. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the red to blue to pink and purple to kind of yellow. I waffled a little bit on this last one. There were all very dark colors that were remaining, but I do like that liney green. So another pair of SKUs and another different configuration. And then Tomorrowland was screaming at me from Knitterly Things. This is her new thinner. She's renamed her merino nylon base, the other one, the original one, merino nylon thick, I believe, and it is a much thicker base. I really enjoy my socks that have been knit out of it, but it is a much thicker base, and so this is her thinner, like second merino nylon, because her original was 100% merino. And I really like the Tomorrowland. I'm embarrassed to admit, until I knit up these for Ellie, I didn't realize that this was kind of rainbow-esque. Like, if you're going from this direction, it's kind of a red to a yellow to a blue to a green to a purple. So I guess the blue and the green are flipped. But another pair of skews found their way on and off the needles. They're basically, skews are Megan Vanillas. Like, that's just what I do with sock yarn if I don't have anything else in mind. Yeah. And then, yes, so I didn't have enough left over of that colorway, which, did I say it's Tomorrowland? So I decided to mix it with the leftovers of the white from this and make some static zings, and I absolutely love how it turned out. Thought about possibly switching the color after 1, and then after 2, and after 3, and then I was like, nope, I just want the solid lines of color. So I did coordinating heels and toes, so they're white. And then she likes the rollers. These are a little long. I think they look long because the static zing obviously is a very ribbing-esque stitch pattern, but then I went to try them on, and because they're so forgiving, they also fit on my feet. So they stretch quite a bit. They fit on her feet with a little bit of extra, and they're a little tight on me, but yeah, they're fun. I really like the lines on the wrong side as well, just the intermixing, and then it almost turns it into a gradient at this small of circumference, right? You get a pretty thick stripe when you're spreading it over that small stitch circumference, and then doubling it basically. So yeah, she absolutely loves them. She's like, oh, these are so cool, Mom. And I was like, well, they fit me. They're mine. Okay, are you sure? They don't really fit your foot very well. They're mine, yeah, she says. I said, okie doke. I don't have enough of the white left over to make any more, so I guess I can go get a generic white. Super fun. And then last, but certainly not least, lots of, oh no, I've got 2. I finished my my banner day. I can't remember if I had this on the needles the last time. I think when we podcasted the last time, I had that on there. But this is Megan of Sideworks Craft Room, who passed away last year. I went out to Simply Sock Yarn and did a very, I'm grieving, need to buy all of the yarn that's available. I didn't clean them out by any stretch of the imagination. They had quite a bit. But this is Impromptu Dance Party. And the pattern is Banner Day, and it's her a Sparklate base. So it's not going to be an impromptu dance party, but I may wear it during our Dance By video on ZK. Very nice. Yeah, make it a thing, a way to honor her, because she has dyed a lot of our goodie bag yarn, and she's been part of our market, and so it's hard to have it be this time of year and not think that I'm going to be seeing her pretty yarn and her pretty face and her sense of humor and fun. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she was there last year.
Yep.
It's just, it's really hard to believe.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like one of those things where it doesn't smack me in the face anymore that we're missing Melly constantly, but when I go home for Thanksgiving and that would have been, she would have been there, then it pinpoints that loss, I guess. Because it's a place that you would have normally seen them. You kind of go on with your daily life, and then, so yeah, that was, I really like how each of the stitches, a lot of the garter ridges are very unique colors, and the lace blocked out really nice, and it gave my tree a hug earlier when I was taking a picture of it. And last but certainly not least, I cast on the walkway, and it was a pretty much a a weekend project for me. It was pretty fun. It's from the bottom up. I modified it to be a much smaller circumference. So I can't remember. I guess I have the book right here. I did some stitch math. The smallest size is 46 inch because it's supposed to be worn
like a boxy or
whatever. Yep, with shown in size 49 with 15 inches of positive ease.
Whew, that's a lot of positive ease.
And I wasn't interested in all that positive ease. Not that I want my knits to really hug me, but this is going to be pretty big as well, so maybe there was a little bit of gauge there too. But I cast it on to be in the round because the pearl back rose, I did half it, and it was very big. And so I took that opportunity to redo the math and be like, I'm going to make this slightly smaller in circumference and knit it in the round. And so I did that, and then that kind of helped me. I did not want the V-neck to be as deep as it is. Again, if you look here, kind of like where like a clasp on a front clasp bra would be, like that's where the V is clear down on her. And I don't wear shirts like that. In general, I mean, I think I'm going to wear this over a gray dress that I have, but I wanted to move that up, and so it was a lot easier to do that because, you can see, I think the pattern has you do it when you join, or you see the V would have lined up for where you would have seamed the underarm. Okay. And that's a little deep on me. Really enjoyed this. This was a simple four row repeat, the little walkway. I really liked that it V'd out. There's a little bit of that on the side edging, which again, I think is a very nice detail. And then you can see my V isn't as deep because I wanted it to match the V that was in front, because I think, again, that's a fun detail. I could have started that sooner, or sooner on the bottom up. Lower down if I wanted. And I did this with, the colorway is Honey, and it's out of Lindy Chain from Knit Picks. And I did what my smart friend learned from the Euroflax, which is it's already in from Knit Picks in a ball that I could have just knit out of, but I rewound it into a ball to kind of loosen it up while I was. And then I think that really helped because this hasn't been blocked with my gauge. Like, it helped even out the gauge because it's already kind of a little more flexible. Yeah. And it also was a lot more enjoyable to work with.
Yes, so it definitely ends up with a more even fabric. Yep. If you don't do that initial step, you can end up where, like, it was kind of straight when you tightened, and then you'll end up with these larger loops in your fabric.
It almost looks like you're rowing out, right? And that's the other thing that doing this in the round really helped me with, is you could see on those pearl back rows that it was my pearl is a little looser than my knit, and so I had to be very cognizant up here when I did actually have to work it flat. But you can see it's still got quite a bit of positive on me. So it could have been that. Maybe this knits up a little bigger than the Quince & Co. yarn that they had recommended. I didn't gauge watch it. I definitely needed to downsize it past the smallest size because I think you and I both could have fit in it. And it was just half, right? And I was like, I think this can fit all the way around me, and it's just half. So I'm going to take this opportunity. I'm going to do the math. I'm going to figure out the repeat and the centering and the cast on to really, and that's not to say that you couldn't knit it as written, right? It was just me not. I enjoy the modification process. Let's just put it that way. I think you are more surprised when I don't modify the heck out of something.
I am.
Like, you knit that according to pattern? I'm the rule follower, the directions follower. So yeah. This should be making its debut at ZK. And I thought maybe I wouldn't like the sleeves, but I really do like the sleeves. Cool. They're just a little, this veers out a little bit, and just enough. Cool. Just extra love.
Yeah, I don't have anything new to wear to ZK that's summer tops. So I did start that one, but yeah, it's not going to get done in a week or less here. But yeah, it could be something to work on. I kind of signed up for too many timed projects here. Speaking of which, I am knitting on my socks. So that's how far I am. I am doing the Partying Up sock by Megan Williams.
Did the other one you did top down?
No.
Or you're doing them both
Party
Up?
I'm doing both Party Up.
Woot woot.
I wanted them to have the same heel. I know that you have a version that of your OMG that does do down, but I wanted them to match. Anyway.
Yep.
So, yep, Partying Up both socks. I enjoy the, I don't know, the bias that it's creating, and it's just something a little bit different. And the second sock is not, I don't know, I got this far and it was zooming, and then I got distracted by my Hohi starting point. So I have 3 more stripes to put into this before I can do my heel. But then it's only 3 more after that, and it's done.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling once I get to that heel, it's going to be zoom, less than, a couple days. And then I have my Hohi. So this is clue 3 on the starting point. I held it up yesterday thinking, like, if I don't like the next few clues, I could make this into a tank top.
Yeah.
So I was kind of contemplating that for a little while as well, because then, like,
it's pretty wide.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's plenty wide. It's quite wide, actually. I think it would be like that small. It would be like 48 or so inches, and if you aggressively block, it'd be bigger.
Yeah.
But saw how it turned out, and I want to use up all my yarn, so I'm gonna persevere. But yeah, that was an idea. Like, I wasn't getting around to the clues, and I was like, oh no, I'm behind. Because when clue 4 came out, I was like, oh, I'm pretty close to getting done with the first clue 3 triangle or whatever side, and the second one would be too far behind, and then yeah, life. So I'm finally back to working on it, and I'm in
I super love your colors.
the bottom, in the last of this white section. And as soon as that's done, I believe that there are only 2 more stripes. They're a little wider than this, and then I get to put things together. So assemble, assemble. But or 2 more thick bands. I should say that there are more stripes, but 2 more thick banded stripes. And I looked, and I am a little nervous about the yarn yardage, because some of the balls are looking kind of small and some of them are looking really big, and I'm like, oh no, what's going on? But I think the colors that are left do play more prevalent in the end of the shawl. So it'll be exciting. I was contemplating, like, oh, if I really work hard this weekend, I could have people at ZK help me with the ends. But I also know myself, on these garter ridge ends, I like to put them in a certain way so that they still look like ridges. I did it incorrectly on my first 3 that I had done, and I'm like, these look terrible. And then I did it correctly and went, and I ripped back the ones that I had put, so like I redid my ends a couple times. Let's see, which one has them? So this one has the ends woven in. And you can see it's still kind of bumpy. I'm hoping that'll block out. But everything looks a lot cleaner than it did when I first started. And I can tell where I still had a problem weaving them in. And I think that might have been issues to how much tail I left. But not here nor there. So that'll be super pretty. Yeah.
And it'll be that big shawl that you were saying that you enjoy.
Yes. And I will
like it.
Yes. And I will say that once they're woven in, I probably won't look at them that closely again, so it'll all be good. But as I'm working on them, doing this many on the ends where there's no hiding the fact that you had to weave in ends there is pretty miserable.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it is one of those I don't knit sleeves moments from Amy Deachin. Like, I really don't like that. Like, if somebody says, what don't you like? I don't mind weaving in ends, but when they're on the edge like this and there's no hiding that you're actually having to tie two pieces of yarn together, and you can tell, like, that's a garter ridge. Oh, that's not a garter ridge. You did something there, That's what bugs me. And some of these ends are looking like they're looking real tiny.
Did you have a cat come help you trim those up?
Oh, yeah, that could be. No, I don't think so. I think it's just that they're kind of springy and they're getting eaten into the...
So slack's getting worked back into
Yeah. Unfortunate, but it happens.
Yeah, so. It does. Especially when there's nothing supporting it. They're just kind of hanging out over there together.
Yep, I needed to keep up with them. That's what would have saved me, but I didn't. But yeah, still would have made a really cute top, too.
I agree.
So yeah, it's just like, I'm still contemplating. Maybe I should make a top.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, the one by the Isigers was kind of similar to that. Wasn't it knit from the bottom up like that? But I don't remember. I think it was in the round. It wasn't.
I thought it was top down, but maybe I would knit a lot of the child ones, so maybe the adult one was bottom up.
Okay, yeah.
Because there was one where I would start with the collar, and I knit a bunch of them for girls, little girls, and I was like, oh, I love this pattern, and I knit that pattern like 2 or 3 times, each one. So there's 2 different patterns, and each of them 2 or 3 times. And my other top was very similar, but you're right, it could have been, the adult one could have been bottom up.
Or maybe we're not talking about the same one. I think this was, it's not the daffodil. I'm trying to remember what it was called, but yeah. Anyway,
I made it in blue.
Okay.
I just can't remember how I started it.
Ravelry pages would save us. Project pages would save us. So, all right.
If it properly labeled it.
Yes. Other works in progress.
That's all I have. I only have the 2 fit to show.
You're focusing.
I am. These 2 are eating up my life right now.
Okay, I just cast on, because I had just finished up Ellie's Static Zings. I just grabbed something that I knew I bought from last ZK, so, I'm using up last ZK's yarn so I can buy more. And this is 716. It's her 716 Targi. Gi, 716 Gi. Everyone wants petrified hamsters and they're never happy with them. Very gray, blue, purple, pink, green, speckled-tastic yarn. And when you know it, they started becoming skews.
Oh.
Strange.
Surprising.
So strange. It's so nice when you're unpredictable and you can really... I know I've become one note. I'm okay with it. I'm like the old married couple that's like, it's fine that we're watching TV on a Friday night together. I don't care. Makes me happy, then that's what counts. And then the No Road Long Enough that you were talking about, a new design that's in the Minnesota 52 book that's available for pre-order currently and will be shipping in July. I used the Diabolical Tenacious Tencel sock yarn, which is 75% merino, 15% nylon, 10% tencel, and Donkey Shane and Time Warp. Donkey Shane. And I even weighed, because this one was used to help me decide how much yardage would be needed for the fingering weight version. So there was a whopping 105 grams in this one and 106 grams. Yes, and I just went until I ran out because I had already gotten my swatch measurement, and now it's ready for its unraveling of the provisional cast on. You could give it a half twist and make it a Mobius, yes. So, yes, I personally enjoy a good solid mixed with a pseudo variegated. Like this blue purple stuff that's going on with like the solid gray next to it, it makes my heart go pitter pat. Like I'm just like, oh, I love it. It kind of gives it like this iridescent, like you think you see me but you don't really see me thing going on. And so yeah, then you can give it a single twist or a double twist. And I have to say, you know, I've been working on this recently. I like this weight of project socks and this weight of project for summer knitting. Like your big old shawl sitting in your lap, that would be, yeah, on these 90-degree days or when I was sitting out at the soccer fields.
Now, right now it's small pieces.
Okay, yeah.
When I get to the final clue, it's going to be, a big thing on my lap. But for right now, it's been manageable.
Yep, and that was just one skein of each. So, again, if you had two colors that you thought would go well with each other, this is one skein of
Jill Draper. And
I got some of that in my bins that I recently reorged as well.
I have 4 skeins, 2 that I bought very recently and 2 I bought at, I think I bought them at 716 Yarn Truck.
She does carry that. That's
does.
right. And she also had the thing that I made the top out of, the hedgehog fibers.
She does.
Budget just went up a bit. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Can you feel it inflating over here?
I did. I heard the sound.
Money flying out of my pockets.
I was going to say, Jenna's also bringing us more sponsor because one of our sponsors said, hey, I'm going to send some stuff with Jenna. I'm like, all right. Go for it. Sounds great. And then, so that's Spun Right Round. Yay! And then somebody was bringing from their LYS or their area, new to me, yarn that was going to be a sponsor.
Yeah.
So that's very nice too.
That was with Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine that and ID. Or Annie D.
Or Enid.
Yeah. I think it has something to do with Annie D.
Okay, Annie D. Sounds good.
Anyway. Did you have any enabling? We're talking about
I
future
have one.
enabling.
So there was a, I believe, since it's been so long since we've recorded, it was a Memorial Day coupon for...
That was a while ago.
Yeah, Nitty and Color had, I think it was 30% off. It was a generous coupon code. I found it through their Instagram feed, and actually Bulky pointed me to the Instagram feed. I didn't find it myself. But since we had both seen her recently in person and noticed that she was having it this time, I decided that I wanted some sparkle sock that has galaxy colorway. So very sparkly, tastic, beautifulness, very bright, but very saturated, I guess is what I want to say.
It looks very galaxy,
Yes. So galaxy, and it has sparkles in it. I'm excited. So that was just an impulse purchase with a coupon, right? So, as we all have
I had
fallen
an
prey to.
impulse purchase as well. So Kirby Werby Yarns was doing a pre-order, and she had knit up some SKUs.
She had a pre-order?
She did, and it's so that was, I'm okay with that. Like she's a reputable yarn dyer. I know that I love the colorway. I know that if I showed up for like an update, I would probably miss the thing that I wanted. And so I was like, I don't need it right away. Like, take my money, send me the yarn when you've got some time to dye it up. It's all good. So she has been bitten by the SKU bug as well.
Okay.
It took her a little bit to find her rhythm and where to put the heel and whether it would be too big or too too narrow or too wide. But I believe there was a pair that was literally knit out of this colorway. And so I have another pair of SKUs in the same. It's blue jeans and tie-dyed t-shirts. Yes, I really love the blues. chartreuse, purple, pink, oranges. It's the blue jean is a solid, and then you kind of get that variegated stripe. Who do you know that loves that? Me. And then there was a moment where there were quite a few pre-order spots available, and it didn't make me feel like a total yarn pig. And so I was like, I'll buy one for me and one to give away, or, you know, give to a friend.
Or let Amy buy, because she likes it.
You did just say something about a pre-order, like, oh, I didn't know there was a pre-order. But yes, so, and she very kindly, absolutely love her, Cherie, went like, are you putting these into the same project? Do they need to be the same dye lot? And I was like, no, honey, no. It was like it's a very nice of you to ask, but this was makes me feel less like a piggy if I buy one and then give one to somebody else, or yeah. So, yes, absolutely love it. Super fun. I don't know if she's still got a pre-order up available or if she'll do that again, but I know that my Cart Ninja-ry hasn't been good lately. I haven't been getting in on the updates or knowing when they're happening. You know what really affects me? I know everybody's like, oh, chronological order isn't that big a deal, you know, but that I think those updates are what get you. Because if you're looking through Instagram and you're like, oh, somebody's having an update. Oh, wait.
2 hours ago.
2 hours ago, or a day ago, or, you know, sometimes it doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't.
In the grand scheme of things. Like, oh, I saw somebody posted that they grabbed something in that update, like 17 scrolls before I actually saw the dyers, that I'm having an update. So,
yeah, I noticed there was something big that was going on, and people were taking pictures, and I can't remember what it was, but a bunch of them popped up like a day later, and I was like, this is old news. What's this? Why is this here?
Yeah, it doesn't really make, my brain doesn't really grok the non-chronological.
Yeah, it's like, why did you show this to me? This is yesterday's news, and it's not like these are, I don't know why they showed up the next day.
It bothers me too, because like I'll see things from you, like, you know, if I didn't have my push notifications on for my really close friends for it to pop up, or like maybe I have a stack of 8 of them, so like you got buried. Like if I'm scrolling through Instagram, like it could be, like you could be, something that you posted 15 minutes ago could have been buried underneath like several hours worth of scrolling, right?
Right. Well, yeah, and those top posts, it's like 8 hours ago, 19 hours ago. You're like, why?
Yeah, it's tough. I really wish that they could give you like a feature,
just like chronological or not.
Yeah, but then I think that they're trying to make sponsorship money, so the sponsors get bumped to the top of the queue, or the people that possibly pad their checkbooks, right, are the ones that are going to be at the top of the queues. But they could still do that, I feel like, and leave it semi-chronological.
Yes. Yes. Well, and I don't know. I was looking at a bunch of people who were complaining recently about Instagram and the ads and whatnot, and I'm like, they've got me dialed in, though. I have not seen an ad that's been like a miss in a while. Like, again, the ads are there, but they're at least things that I'm sort of interested in and don't mind seeing in my feed. So
I feel like maybe I liked somebody's baby picture and they started showing me like baby stuff, and I'm like, no. I'm with you on that, because I like babies, but I'm not in the need for baby things. Nor am I.
Breastfeeding tops were in my feed for a week. I'm like, what?
Okay, I'll support you, Instagram, that I am a woman and you have figured that out, and that is my demographic. But that ship has sailed.
I marked those as no.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Because I don't know that I've provided them that feedback.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I just want them to stop. So I'm like, I am not having a baby. Stop telling me I'm having a baby.
Does this top make me look like I'm going to be having a baby?
I feel like they're watching me, right?
Yes.
Because they're everywhere. You Google something, and then it's in your Instagram feed.
Oh.
So they're watching me. It's scary.
And it always feels like Somebody's watching me. All right.
And it's quite literal sometimes. Anyway. So that's it for that. We'll talk retreat news really quickly.
Yep. ZK, the survival guide went out. Woohoo! I feel like it's a little bit of an oxymoron at this point. We've got people that have been there all 5 years. I believe there's 17 of them that are coming this year when I did the click.
That's not as many, so wow. We'll have to get them to stand up and
Maybe that's wrong. For some reason, that number jumped out and bit me when I was thinking about it just now. But we've got the people that have been there all 5 years. So when we do have them stand up and recognize them for having come all 5 years, those are the people that you can go to and ask, like, where do I go to do this? Because they are old hands at it. They know exactly how to do it. How to get to mail your dirty laundry home and bring your yarn home in the suitcase, and where to go if you want a quick salad versus a full 5-course meal. They know it all. In addition, we know it too, but just saying.
We appreciate our thread mothers, like the people that are out there on a regular basis answering questions for everybody.
Yeah. Amy is thankful that the KAL wrapped up.
No more counting. and I would like a special recognition to I was counting everything up, and people were very good about putting their own bonus numbers in, but Patty, every single one of hers, she mentioned individually what she had put in that should deserve a bonus, but no numbers. So I had to figure those out. I was like,
Patty, she wanted you to earn your keep.
Well, but you get in a rhythm, and I could have easily just wrote down that first number and moved on. But I noticed that, well, it's like, these are Patty's. Of course she's going to have her fish lips kiss heel in it. And then, like, oh, that looks like familiar yarn. So therefore, like, oh, yep, that's Sun Valley. It just...
Yeah.
I don't know. It was one of those things where I was like, okay.
Corey and I were not completely driven by the KAL deadline, but I did take that into consideration, that we had folks that were attending that would like to be able to get their projects out there.
A lot of them did take advantage. So.
Yep.
Many of them in Team Blue.
Imagine that.
How it landed.
I didn't select test knitters, and nor did Corey, based on team colors. So
you probably didn't even know what team they were on.
I didn't at all. But yeah, we're super excited. It's going to be a fun year. I believe I asked Alexa what the temperature would be on Sunday.
The internet's been fuzzy here lately.
It is. So I don't know if she'll answer. And it was supposed to cool down. So that's a goodness, because I'm worried about the 5Kers out there at 9 o'clock in the morning and it being really warm or muggy.
Yeah. Well, and we're going to be outdoors for our berry farm, and it's going to be afternoon. So.
Yep. So.
We don't want people getting too warm. What else? Let's see. People should have gotten their shirts. We had a few last-minute people coming off the wait list, so they should get in and ask their questions.
And look for anybody that's destashing a shirt, because there have been a few out in the threads that are, if you're looking for a destashed shirt.
Yeah, sometimes you look at the sizes and you think, yep, that's going to fit, and it gets here and you're like, that's not what I thought it was going to be.
I wanted more positive ease.
Yeah, exactly.
What else do we have going on?
There's mini knits. I haven't been able to podcast and tell people about knitting little miniature knits, but there is an exchange on the calendar, and that went out in the survival guide, so read things carefully. There's a lot of things to participate in that might not have been on your radar because we haven't been podcasting.
Some of them are, annual favorites. You did the knitwear adoption last year, which was a new one and was very successful. It was very fun to have people posting like, whose was this?
Oh yeah, and
I adopted that. And we always do the $20 yarn lottery, which is very fun. I have to kind of save my voice for that because I'm yelling out numbers like 10 through 20. Come up and make your choices.
Yep, and then let's see what else is in there in that regard. We had, yeah, then knitwear adoption. Definitely go through your closet, find things that you aren't 100% in love with anymore, and give them to a loving home. There is a special consideration that you need to give them freely without
wanting anything in return.
Yes, wanting anything in return. Like if you go to the knitwear adoption event and there's nothing in your size or nothing that suits you, then you freely give in your object to somebody else.
Yep. And it's, I don't know. It was very...
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I mean, I brought in shawls and and I think that there only ended up being a handful of things at the end of the whole event, and those ended up getting donated. So it's a great thing. It goes.
I can't remember if it was whose it was, but I swear when I saw Jackie at Rhinebeck, she was wearing, and she pointed out that she was wearing something that
Mason Bee?
Yeah.
Mason, could it be mine?
Yeah.
The thing I felted?
Yeah. That she was like, I absolutely love this! And I was like, she's like, I got it in the knitwear adoption. So yeah, it's fun. It's good.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, have somebody be excited about something that you're just like, it almost makes you feel guilty that you're not wearing it anymore. That's a nice feeling.
Yes, exactly. And that sweater was a lot of knitting, and I loved it, but I got to wear it once, maybe twice before I felted the dang thing. So I'm so happy it has a new home in that itty bitty person.
It got Rhinebeck wear, man.
It did. That's great.
So, all right, but yeah, obviously we're very excited, but still lots to do.
Yes, people are arriving shortly. One of the things that we have to do is record an enabling episode right now. So, bye!
Bye, Upta.